and I could see, or portals or windows, and in the windows were not just ETs or grays scrambling behind the scenes. I could see people scrambling behind the scenes and looking out the window and looking at the groups and checking things out like, they had just dropped down and saw us. And the light that was emanating from this thing just got brighter and brighter, and it was the clearest, brightest, whitest, cleanest light that I had ever seen in my life, with a beautiful, beautiful blue hue. And I just looked at that thing, and I was staring it up, and I raised my hands up, and I just went, "It's beautiful!" It's beautiful. And I could see people looking and running to another window and looking down, and I could see an ET. And then the second one dropped, did the same thing with its beam of light, and then the third one dropped. And I was just totally awebound.
And they were all similar in appearance?
Yes. But one thing about them was that I was thinking, even though I was overtaken by the excitement of it and everything, and I was thinking, these things don't look aerodynamic, because it just was not, they were certain, but that thing hanging out the bottom, maybe it was the drive that the light was coming out of.
Any sound associated
oblong
with it?
No, totally silent. I've seen other crafts, always silent, dead silent. Okay. It's almost like they kind of remind you of a lighter than air, like a balloon, that people travel, and it's just like they're surreal. There's no sound. There was no sound. And so it started, the one on top of me started descending even more, and I just had the frame of mind. It just came to me to do the symbol for high, which later became shorter and shorter and shorter. But the symbol for high, or the symbol for low, I did it with my right hand, which is to take my right hand and go from right to left, which was the I, and then to go straight up, which was the H for high. So I just went straight to the left with my right hand, straight up to the right for high or hello.
Mm-hmm.
And instantly when I did that, boom, I blacked out.
Wow.
When I came to, I was in what looked like a foyer, but a huge foyer, huge hallway, and all of those people. Now, see, when I say 90% or better, there's these periods like that where I'm here and then I'm somewhere else, but most of the time in those in the experiences, it's like 98%. I remember everything, but when it was the experiences like this, I black out. So I think what happened was they pulled us with this light somehow. But we were all standing in this foyer or hallway thing, all the people that were on the ground, and I was in the front of all of them, and to my right was this guy that I was telling you about, the one who said he was driving his car, right?
Sure.
And one of the ETs or Greys telepathically said, "Lead them." Now I'm thinking, lead them? It's almost like I knew what to do, but I didn't know what to do, and the only thing I could think to do was just walk forward. Okay.
They're almost treating you like a trustee in jail.
Yeah, you got it. It's lead them. I mean, the words I remember specifically, lead them. And what am I leading them to? Slaughter? A lot of things come through your mind.
Of course.
But I wasn't sensing that kind of danger. And the people could stand up, but they were staring straight out like zombies, so they didn't even know they were there. The guy that was standing to my right, he was still scared. So I took his hand and I laid it on top of my right hand, and I started to take a step. And when I took a step, the whole group took a step. When I took another step, the whole group took a step. So, and I just picked up the pace, and I could see a light where we were walking to. And when we got to the light, it opened up into this huge auditorium. It was the best way I could put it, like the size of a basketball stadium, and a professional or college basketball stadium, huge. And all this scurrying was going on towards the back of the room, but with humans, and I could see more extraterrestrials, but I could see quite a bit of humans, and they were not in military attire. They were in civilian attire, lab coat-y-like attire, though, towards the back, and there were nothing but rows and rows and rows and rows of monitors with like a seat in front of them. And my instructions from that point was to seat them. Okay, so I take the first guy that was with me, well-lit room, noise going on. You can hear people talking, whatever they were doing. Mass abduction, man. And what they did was really a surprise. But so I took the first guy, which was the one that I had I said had his arm on me, and I walked all the way to the end of the row, and I sat him on a chair in front of this thing that looks akin to a monitor, and sat him there. I walked back, and as I was walking halfway back, this was me. I go, I got to check this out. I got to see. So I started looking around. I started looking at the monitors. I started looking, trying to figure out what the people were doing in the back. And the telepathic voice went, no. And I kept looking, and it went, no, no. You know, like you would tell your dog, okay?
Yeah,
and
sure.
then I kept looking, and boom, I blacked out. So that's something they didn't want me to do, I guess.
A big no-no.
Yeah. When I came to again, I was sat in front of a monitor, and so was everybody else. And the whole thing was just filled with people sitting in front of these things. The screens lit up, and they all lit up at the same time, just like if you go to a showroom and they have the glass outside of where their new televisions, and there's 20 TVs all with the same channel kind of thing. So
Sure.
The glow was coming identical from each screen, and the first thing that came up on these monitors was just a drop-dead gorgeous, beautiful blue sea, teeming with fish. And you could tell that your senses were heightened however they did it. They made your senses much more heightened than normal. So your emotions and the beauty of it, and it was so real, and the colors were so vivid, and they were so clear, and you've never seen a sea so beautiful. And I just went, wow. And then that scene stayed up, and then you heard it went dark, and then you heard a hum like for 3 seconds. I think the hum was something to heighten your adrenaline or something. And then the screen lit up again, and it was a beautiful mountain scene with snow-capped mountains and a crisp, clear blue sky, and it was just gorgeous. And you're going, wow, this is so beautiful. And then that disappeared, and then you would see a forest, a beautiful forest, and the trees couldn't be any greener, and the earth couldn't look any healthier, and it was just scene after scene of just the most breathtaking earth scenes you had ever seen, magnified. And then they slowly started turning ugly, meaning the first scene that I saw with the sea was looking polluted and dark, and then it would disappear, and then another scene came up, and then you could see fish bloated, and then another scene came up where it was the beautiful mountain scene, and the air was polluted, and across the screen said, right in plain words that everybody could read, and telepathically, so the telepathic message was where everybody could hear it, which was, you're killing your planet. And then the next scene, where you saw the trees, the acid had burned the top of the trees. Your planet is dying. The next scene, and they got uglier. You're killing your planet. Your planet is dying. You're killing your planet.
I think most of us know that's happening, Jim. I think we have an inner sense. We all know it. We wouldn't have to see those scenes to know the poles are melting, the air is bad, the oceans are dying. All of this is in the news now. Hold tight, Jim. Jim Sparks is my guest. Years of abductions. You're hearing it all tonight. From Manila, rain-drenched Manila, I'm Art Bell. All right. And this is official notification that we're going another hour, another live hour tonight. My guest is Jim Sparks. And when we left him in the last segment, the screen